Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy
You too,
Thanksgiving,
thank you.
Pat.
Good to be back with you.
We watched the game from home last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, when you're in the protocol, you're in sort of lockdown, and my wife got it as well. And so we sat there and watched the game. It's actually the first 4 days of work that I've ever missed as a coach, so that part was frustrating as well. But guys battled. We just didn't make enough plays, and didn't go our way. But I was rooting for them, obviously,
Was it a helpless feeling?
to some degree. But I think Mike did a good job filling in, and he's called plays before, and everybody else pitched in where they needed to, and just unfortunately didn't go our way. But from that standpoint, things worked well.
Were you able to be involved in meetings on Saturday at all?
Yeah, I was involved. I mean, I guess I popped positive on Friday morning, so the game plan was in. We had basically had our plan ready to go, all the way down to what the openers might be. And then I was involved to some degree through the weekend just by Zoom.
Pat, as you've gone back and kind of self-scouted during the bye week, what are the things that give you optimism that you guys can be a lot better in the red zone over the final 7 games?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it didn't work out. It didn't go our way last week, but prior to that, the last month or so, I think we've done a much better job in the red zone when we got down there getting points. And I think that's the important thing. It's about points. You always talk about whether you run it, whether you throw it, all that, but ultimately, we've been able to drive the ball. We're, I guess, for the people that like to crunch numbers, way up there in terms of time of possession and moving the ball. And but the devil's in the details at the end there. You got to get it in.
Tim and Courtland got their contracts this week. In your time around them, what have you come to respect about their games?
Well, they're pros, and that's what I appreciate about them. They really involve themselves in all facets of playing offense, which, we undersell sometimes how important it is to get lined up in certain spots and do certain things, even if you're not primary. They spend a lot of time making sure they're doing the right thing in the run game, and then when we go their way, they make their plays in the passing game. So they're real pros. They're fun to be around. They're guys, I would like to say they are where their feet are. So when we're practicing, they're practicing hard. When we're in the game, they're playing hard. When they're in the meeting room, they're doing that the right way. And it's nice to see those guys get rewarded for being pros, and I think they both are.
Recognizing the Chargers have been a little better defensively against the run the last couple of weeks, but overall, statistically,
Yeah.
it's been a struggle. Do you see that as an opportunity, given how good you guys have been at the run at times?
Well, I mean, we've done some good things in the run game throughout the year. I don't crunch the numbers that way. You made a good point. Somebody might say that they aren't good against the run, and they stick a ranking on them. The last 2 weeks, you're right. The yards per carry has been down. So, it's a lot of times it's not who you're playing, it's when you're playing them and where they're at. And so, we got to do a good job running it and throwing it. And when we get close, we got to score. So that's sort of how we approach it. They got really good players. They can challenge you. They can do a good job stopping the run, and they've proven it the last couple of weeks. And when you throw the ball, they do a good job of getting pressure on you. Their corners are sticky. They can get on you. It's going to be a challenge across the board. I think we see that every week, Defenses fight back, In high school and college, sometimes it doesn't appear that way, and the scores are real high. But when it's a challenge every week, regardless of how people think teams are ranked, because there's really good players on every defense.
From the film, has there been something different about the Chargers the last 2 weeks against the run? If so, what is it?
Not really. I think they have their ways that if they want to settle in and try to stop the run, they can do so. The coverage concepts are very similar to what we see in practice, obviously with Coach Staley being there, and so there's some familiarity there. They're set up to not give up big plays when they do things the way they do them, and so it's a challenge, and we got to be on our game.
How creative are they moving Bosa around?
He moves around. He's typically, you'll find him on the edge. He's typically in a position where he's the rusher. If they're 5 on the line and they're going to bring 4, that's pretty standard. in the nickel situations. There are times when he'll line up in on the guard and work on the interior. They have some run alignments where, you know, he'll get down in the interior of the front as well. So, yeah, he's all over, you know, and it's going to be important for us to know where he is and get a hat on him.
Said defenses fight back and that maybe they're better than they have been. What do you think it'll take for your offense to kind of get back and be better than it has been?
Well, we got to just fight them. You know, I think we've, you know, every week we talk about how good the defenses are that we face, and we just got to go battle, you know, because I think we've got some players, and we do, you know, we've had spurts where we've done a really good job of moving the ball and scoring points, and we got to do it. And I think that's the challenge each week.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you,
Have a
Pat.
nice game.